The advantage has swung from the casino to us because there are a lot of tens and aces left in the shoe. Now is the perfect time to learn optimal betting. You've got basic strategy down pat, you count to perfection. Now it's time to start making money by varying your bet optimally. First, before you start play, you have to determine your betting unit. Then, when you have the advantage and the count's favorable, you bet in multiples of your betting unit according to the count. Let's get started determining your betting unit. Your bankroll is what you're willing to invest in yourself as a blackjack player. If you want to do this for serious profit, you need to invest in yourself over time. Your betting unit should be 1/1000th of your total bankroll. Your bankroll is how much money you're willing to lose without going crazy. For each session, your cash on hand should be at least 32 betting units. If you're going to bet $10 a hand, you should bring about $350 to the table. If you want to bet $25 a hand, be prepared to sit down with $800. For this demonstration, my bankroll will be $200,000. What can I say? The MIT team was very profitable for me. My betting unit will be $200. As you learn to play, you should start off with a much smaller unit until you have confidence in your abilities. Raise or lower your unit as your bankroll changes. Say I lose $100,000, half of my bankroll. I would then drop my unit to $100. What if I win $300,000? In this case, my bankroll would be $500,000 and I'd raise my unit to $500. By constantly adjusting your betting unit, you will never go broke, and your bankroll will increase faster in the long run. Your maximum bet should be at least 4 times your betting unit. Won't get you kicked out of the casino. In our case, our maximum bet is at least $800. Never bet more than a quarter of the money you have on you on one round, because you always want to have enough money to be able to split and double down. So now we know our unit and maximum bet, and we figured out how much money to bring to the casino. It's time to learn how to calculate our optimal bet based on the count. First, we take the running count and divide it by the number of decks remaining. We know our running count is plus 15, but how many decks remain? We can estimate how many decks remain by looking at the number of discards. Considering that this casino uses a 6-deck shoe, how many decks would you say remain to be dealt? This takes a little practice. On the MIT team, we practiced with discard trays, just like they use in casinos. There are 6 decks of cards in this discard tray. Remember what they look like. Now we can take the cards out and split the pile in half. Now each half is about 3 decks. Here's 3 decks. Remember what this looks like. Let's see what 2 decks look like. You can cut into 3 equal piles. Here's 2 decks. Let's add 2 more. 4 decks. Let's add 1 more deck. And 5 decks. Study these images long enough, and you'll be able to guess very accurately how many decks remain in the shoe. And you'll know this song by heart too. Now that we can accurately estimate the remaining decks in the shoe, we're ready to determine our optimal bet. Optimal betting. First, keep an accurate running count. Approximate the number of decks remaining. They're using a 6-deck shoe, so take the number of decks you see in the discard tray and subtract it from 6. That's how many decks are remaining in the shoe. Divide the running count by the number of decks remaining. This is called the true count. Subtract 1 from the true count to determine how many units to bet. Multiply the number of units to bet by your betting unit. Play 2 hands at a time on spots next to each other and bet that amount per hand. If you're the only player at the table, or if you can only play 1 hand, bet 25% more on 1 hand. Back in the fictional casino, our running count got up to 15. There were about 5 decks remaining in that shoe. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 is our true count. 3 minus 1 equals 2, so we should bet 2 units. If your result is ever less than 0, bet as little as you can without drawing too much attention to your bet. Even sit out if you can get away with it. Ideally, you don't ever want to place a bet when you don't have an advantage. But if you sit out or leave every time you don't have an advantage, the casino will suspect that you are a card counter. A quick review before I put out my money. Our running count is at plus 15. The blonde laughed at my jokes but won't give me her phone number. We've played through about 1 deck, so there are about 5 decks remaining. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Our true count is plus 3. Now we subtract 1 from our true count of 3, and we get 2, so we bet 2 units. So I'm going to bet 200 times 2, or $400 on each hand.
Here we go. $19, $18,
Right.
$18, $16,
What's the dealer got over there?
$17. What does the dealer have? Dealer has a deuce.
Stay.
19 on a 2, stay. 18 on a 2, stay.
Of course I'm going to double my 10 against the dealer's deuce. I learned that on my basic strategy card. Double that.
Double on the 10.
Nice. 19.
Very nice.
Good.
18, stay. 16 on a deuce. Stay.
Are you still keeping track of the count?
Here we go. Dealer opens up a 6. And 10, 15, 20.